We have righteousness on our side. And if need be, we will sacrifice ourselves, our pack, our tribe, indeed all of humanity, to safeguard the spirit world. This is a strength the other tribes cannot possibly understand. Be proud, child of Fenris, for yours is a greatness unknown to any other being on earth. Hello and welcome everybody to this, our season finale of Rage Across the Internet, your Werewolf the Apocalypse podcast. I'm your host, Porter. To my left, we've got producer Joey.
Hey guys.
To my right, Tommy Dixon.
How's it going?
And the man himself, Iron Daniel Tyson. How we doing, buddy?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Doing good.
Yeah.
Season finale.
We made it. Woo!
We did. It's
We're still doing this.
I know. Not a full year, but it is the end of the year.
It was close to a full year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
So weird to even say season finale.
Well, we're gonna, because I like arbitrary,
But we're still doing this.
Yeah, we are.
Like,
we're getting better, I think. Maybe not better, but we're having...
It's harder to get worse than where we started.
That's true. Those are painful.
I can't listen to them
No.
again.
No, I don't want to. I don't like that they're
So,
there.
if you're new to the podcast, just skip over like the first 5 or 6.
Yeah.
I think it's
You'll
the
be
first
better.
5.
Yeah.
Although I did play for you the first one of that podcast that I've listened to forever, the one with the Spanish music playing in the background. So it's not our podcast. It was another podcast. I played it for you.
Okay, yeah, but...
And we're not that bad.
I mean, that's nice.
I mean, we don't have the Spanish music in the background, so...
So hashtag life goals. We're not that bad.
Suppose that's true. And I believe that's the Crash Test Dummies you're referring to? I'm not sure. I don't know if you were referring to give them credit or...
Was that a Spanish band?
Yes. Those guys?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that I'm pretty sure that's the name of the song too.
I think that is the name of the song.
I don't know.
And already, we are so far gone.
It took
Off the rails.
not even a minute.
This might be a new record.
You know why though, right?
Season finale?
Curse.
Oh, well,
This is true.
you kind of jumped the gun, but yes, this is indeed...
A cursed episode?
Yeah, it's our season finale. And I want to start there. So, hooray.
Yes.
It's the end of the year, and Happy New Year, everybody. I hope you have a blast with whatever you're doing this coming, I guess it's not the weekend.
No, it's like a Thursday night, I think.
Let's just get out of 2020.
Oh,
We're going to. And we're going out fierce.
With a bang.
No, we're going out. We did that last time.
We're going out.
That was last week.
We're going out with a growl.
We are. We're going out fucking, strong with the latest of our tribal series. And if you're not sure which yet, I can't help you because I said it in the quote and it's already listed as the episode title. But we are talking Get a Fenris, a tribe that we have a very level of knowledge and opinion of.
Yeah.
I believe.
Yeah.
So
It seems to be a crowd favorite. We'll call it a crowd. We've gotten a lot of...
Danny, the people trapped inside your own head do not count.
Fine.
So it's a 2-person favorite.
no, there are plenty of Get fans out there, and we salute you.
And generally speaking, I do like to Get a Fenris. I have an opinion on this book, however.
Well, what I was trying to get at is there have been a lot of requests. Please let the Get be the next tribal episode. Please let the Get be the next tribal episode. When are you going to talk about the Get?
Okay.
Well, hold on, guys.
Well, when they come up on the list, goddammit.
Exactly. That's exactly my point.
But
it has been mentioned on several occasions.
We did pull these out of a hat.
Yep.
There is the
Many,
This is
many
where it
months
landed.
ago.
Yeah, long pre-episode 1. That's the thing. Yeah, thinking about it. The first 5, that was the first session.
Yeah.
The first 5 episodes were done the same day.
Yeah.
So it was like
You guys are nuts.
It was our first day.
Yeah,
all the
I
first
was not here
5
for
weeks
that.
was our first day for that. It's like, no wonder, man.
I was not here for that.
No, you showed up on the 6th.
7th.
7th?
Yep.
Okay. See, he knows. I don't fucking know.
I've
I just
re-listened to it a few times.
I just show up here.
Oh, that's why the numbers are so good.
Just for 7.
Suddenly it makes sense.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's actually one of our top episodes. Maybe that's why, Tom. You've listened to yourself talk. What? How many times now?
A billion.
In front of the mirror.
Yeah. I practice nightly.
I'm gonna get very far away from that scenario right now.
Appreciate it. Don't want to freak anyone out.
Exactly. That belongs in the last episode, I think.
Okay, so
We
get a
haven't heard the
Fenris.
last episode yet.
Yeah, if you guys if this is your first one,
Go back.
the last two, their two-parter was a little
It was a lot of fun.
was a lot of fun. Yes, it was.
It wasn't little.
It wasn't little, and it wasn't protected.
Ooh.
Ooh,
Certainly, get a Fenris.
Yeah,
get a
let's
Fenris.
get on topic.
Now,
We don't know how to do that.
I don't want to officially hand this episode over. Mm-hmm. However, Danny, you play a Get a Fenris.
I do
So this is a big episode for you.
a little bit.
In fact, this is only the what's the second technically, but the first one was off format. And
Right, yeah.
That's getting redone. So we're gonna call this technically the first time we're doing a tribal episode with someone who plays a member of that tribe.
Right. Yeah, because our child, the guy, the one that's chosen, our guy that's going to be
Doesn't
redone
count.
for the new format.
Yep, doesn't count.
So, but to think about that though, how many tribal episodes we've had so far in this format that we're doing? This is the first one.
Well, there's only so many players in our game.
Yeah, right.
It's true.
All right, you got me.
So Danny, tell us right from Jump Street, what does it mean to you? What did the Get a Fenris mean to you?
Well, see, they call Fenris. He was the mightiest of all the first 16 Garu. Mm-hmm. So that being said, they consider the Get like the mightiest, the fiercest, the most honorable, the strongest of all the tribes. And I think the honor part is what stuck out to me the most, rather than the strength. Yeah, the strength, that's cool. Everyone loves being strong. I want to be the strongest. But the honor, that stuck out to me.
Okay.
That in following some of our, NPCs who I kind of look up to, I kind of see them as mentors, even. Everyone, I've said it on several occasions, probably one of my favorites, Whiplash.
Which is a character that I'm a fan of, and I know Joey's a fan of, and Tom is thoroughly unimpressed with.
How am I thoroughly unimpressed?
The look on your face. You've got your arms crossed. And you just gave like the deepest ugh, I have ever seen you do.
I mean, he does have you there.
It's true.
Suddenly, he's too big for poor people there.
I am not.
So, I mean, do you consider Get a Fenris one-note characters?
She's got me there.
Yeah.
She
So,
does.
so you do consider him that, huh?
Yeah. I mean,
That's not
he's
very nice of you.
well. There's not much to him.
And
Well, I just said it's not
that's not
just the
true.
strength.
I know that's not true. As a player's perspective, I know that's not true. As Ghost's perspective, he seems like a very one-note guy.
Well, now you're talking about Whiplash specifically.
Correct. But he's, to be fair, one of the very few gets that I'm around, aside from my own packmate. But
I was gonna say, what about me?
Well, then Shadowboxer.
how much interaction have I had?
At point. And then, before he left, Xylo kills the foe, Red Sahara the Haper.
Again, how much interaction have I
I
had?
like doing that.
Yeah. Well, and, I mean, you did sneak into the cabin.
Hey, we had a little adventure with him. You fought thunderworms with him.
It's true.
Man.
But I was just getting on
that's-
Whiplashes. You guys were giving me the stink on Whiplash, so that's
Well-
why I was telling you he's a very one-note guy.
So
Disagree.
am I a one-note guy, Tom?
Yeah, like a 3/4 note guy, Danny.
You gave him a little more than I was going to say half, but
Half, it seemed too easy. I only go 3/4.
okay.
Merry Christmas.
Appreciate it. At least I got something.
Okay.
So Danny, you've got a naysayer here in the studio.
Yeah,
You-
suck,
you-
Tom.
you've got maybe a halvesy supporter,
I like the tribe. I didn't like the book.
and
Why?
maybe there we go. Maybe we start there before we kind of throw some weight on Danny's shoulders.
And I
So
agree with
why-
her on this why.
I found the book to be exclusive. The book wasn't, to say the book wasn't welcoming is too pat of an answer. I read a lot. I know what a lot of words mean, but there were sections in this book where I was reading through going, what's that word? Wait a minute, what is that? And it was just off-putting to me because, sure, I'm not big on Norse mythology or all of that. I can, pick out names here and there, and I know generalized stories, but I don't know what some of these words were, and I'm not going to go researching and writing down and Googling and, all of this just to read a book about a thing I wanted to read about.
Well,
I mean, I see where she's coming from, but at the same time, the more you read it, the more you can understand the context behind all those. And yeah, it's very, very big into the Norse mythology, especially the terminology. But then you say like, okay, I don't know what that word is, but you can start reading it and understand, okay, now I understand what they're talking about. The Jotun, right?
I still don't know what
that was
those are.
Servants of the Worm.
Okay, until you said that, I didn't know.
No, sorry, that's the actual worm.
Oh,
that's Jormungandr.
Oh, so okay,
Sure.
so I was right. I mixed them up.
I'm inclined to agree with Joey in insofar as I think the reliance on Norse mythology creates a barrier not unlike the problem with the Stargazers book. I think the problem we had with Stargazers is you had all of that Henki-yokai fucking gobbledygook you had to decipher to get to the stuff.
yeah.
And I think it's the similar thing here with the Norse mythology. And I can understand why they did it. There's a level of it being right there. I think maybe they just leaned a bit too heavy.
My thing is, I wanted to read a book about Garu. I didn't want to read a book about our Norse mythology.
Well, you didn't.
Yeah, I mean, because it's definitely not.
But not knowing that you didn't know that, that's a fun sentence.
But it's one of those things sure, I will just get this out of the way. No, I didn't look that crap up. I didn't Google any of the, to me, strange words. Should I have to? I don't think I should. I think that if the book was going to use terms that may not be familiar, maybe put in a glossary.
And there is at one point, but it's like 3/4 of the book,
So,
which is maybe
Yeah.
not the best spot for it.
You can put it at the end. You can put it at
Yeah,
the
so there
beginning.
is-
Somewhere, a quick reference guide.
It would have been nice in an easier, more accessible spot. I agree. And again, I don't disagree with you here. I have a problem with the way they take Norse mythology and the Aesir gods and kind of weave it into the world of darkness. I don't love that fit on a personal level.
Right.
And there's a level you got to take, and I know there's a criticism I hear every now and then that fucking baffles me. And I'll take a second here because we're talking about that aspect of it. Is I have heard people, and on more than one occasion, complain that the mythology produced in this book does not match actual Norse mythology.
But I think there's a reason for that.
Well,
because
of
it's not
course.
Norse mythology.
Exactly, it's not Norse mythology. Why?
It's Garu
Yeah,
Norse mythology.
exactly. Why would
Maybe
Fenris
just
be the
Garu.
villain for a tribe called the Get of Fenris? Of course the perspective's skewed. Of course the story's going to be different. What the hell's wrong with your brain?
And my thing is, that's not where I go for my entertainment. I don't go to the Norse mythology.
Sure.
So I'm not familiar with these words and concepts and stories.
No, again, I think it creates an extra barrier, just like the Hengyokai shit in the Stargates. I don't think it's any different, frankly.
Right.
The difference being that Norse mythology exists in our world to a greater extent, so there's more likelihood you would have heard some of it, as opposed to the Hengyokai stuff, which you've probably heard none of it if this is your first time picking up a book.
Right.
So that doesn't make it okay. I think they lean on it too hard. I'll agree with you there.
I mean, I'll admit to the biased that there's no denying that, but I still think it made for good story, and I still think that it wasn't that hard to figure out.
But there's a level of background with you.
True.
You
And
watch
that's-
television shows about that.
Yeah. Well,
I
love
don't.
that show.
But but you get it. There's a level of difference there. You
You
pick it
have
up from
that
someone who
prior
knows
knowledge.
fucking nothing. It's a problem.
Right. Yeah,
That's why I
Norse
agree with
mythology
Joey.
was.
I don't have that prior knowledge at all either. So
Yeah,
if
and
I-
it was a barrier.
Yeah, and like I'm saying, I do have that prior knowledge, and I agree with both of you. So I don't
Yeah.
know, suck it. What are you doing?
Yeah,
here?
I'm not saying I'm not saying what either Joey or Tom is saying is dumb, and yes, I agree with them, and there is that bias there, but I was able to pass that to get to the part that I find interesting.
Well,
Because
and-
yeah, you're probably right. It's because I have the prior knowledge, and yeah, Norse mythology was a huge interest to me, especially growing up.
Yeah, and like I was reading the book and going, yeah, I don't know what they're talking about. I have not a clue even how to pronounce that word. Why is there a Y in the middle of that word? And then I was like, oh, Odin, I know that word. Like, that's how I was reading that book.
Well, the why, Joey, that's just the wild.
No. No.
oh boy.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, and it,
Got 'em.
I think that I'm, at least average intelligence and can figure this out. But I have to have a notebook and a pencil and write down all the words that I don't understand
No,
to go and Google them, which thank God there's Google, that's a thing, because maybe not so much when the book came out.
oh, we totally did. It's a
And
revised book. It was like 2004,
Hmm.
or no, it wasn't. But
It was 2002, I think.
Quit
Yeah.
dating yourself.
0102.
but
No, it
you,
was 02.
but you know what I'm saying though. It seems like a barrier.
No, I get it, and again, no one
I'm not
disagrees with you. I think you were looking for a fight on that one, or expecting.
I
think
was
you were
expecting expecting.
resistance. That no, everyone agrees with you. We can
Okay, cool.
moving
Thank you.
on.
Moving on. Yes.
We agree. You're right.
So Danny,
Yes.
tell me all the words that I couldn't understand or didn't recognize.
Please don't
Oh.
just list off all those words.
Oh, come
There's
on.
a lot.
There's a lot.
Yeah, there's a page. It was almost 3/4 of the page. It was just nothing but what those words meant.
Right, and we're not.
We're not going to do
doing
it.
that. We're going to talk about the tribe. So, Danny, tell us about the Get of Fenris.
Oh, I guess should we start with the history?
You just start where your notes take you, sir.
Start with the history, I guess then.
Okay.
Well, we got format, man. Come on.
Yes, we do.
Yes, we do. So we know,
All right.
One of the very few episodes.
right?
It's true.
And we always just flirt with destroying it every time.
Yep.
Well, okay. Well, I already mentioned that Fenris was one of the first of the 16 Garu. Mm-hmm. And he was the strongest of all. There are a couple of different beliefs, but like I guess the most common one was that Fenris himself was one of the first 16 of the man-wolf creatures created by Gaia to be her protectorates. He was filled with the most rage than any other, and it was also the most honorable. And he led the war front against the worm. The worm, sorry. Fenris was considered the leader and the alpha of, we'll call it the pack of 16. And it
That's
wasn't
a
until much
huge
later that
pack.
the silver, huh?
That's a huge pack.
It's definitely a big P.
Whoa. We did that already.
We did.
Yeah.
Couldn't
We
resist the
learned to
callback.
Because he was the strongest. He was kind of considered like the alpha and the leader. And it wasn't until like way later that the Silver Fangs rose to become leaders of the nation.
Okay.
So, and then all the 15 would find mates and start breeding. And that would start their tribes.
Okay.
All but Fenris. Fenris would not find a mate because he needed to find one that would match his strength and honor. I just thought that was really fucking cool.
Well, so go ahead, Joy.
Okay, so this is like saying that each of the tribes are descended from one of the original 16.
Yes.
Now, is that their own private headcanon history?
Well, this is from the Get
This
Book
is-
history, so...
Yes,
But
this
it's
is
not the only time that's ever come up.
Because, we have multiple other sources saying that the tribes weren't formed until after the Impergium
Right.
and, the Great Concord and all that, where they formed the tribes
Yeah. Officially.
officially.
Yeah.
Yes. But that's, again, this is according to the Get of Fenris.
Okay. Just wanted to clarify that.
No, sure.
Oh, no, I don't
and
blame you.
it's, I know, I don't remember where. I know this not this exact version, but has come up before, is that the original Garu each represented in a tribe. I don't recall what book, so I don't want to... Joey's got her hand raised.
What about the Bonars? Did they have one of the 16?
Yeah, they were the lowest of the low. Chewing on
I
the
think it
bones
came
and
up in
scraps.
the Silver Fangs.
You guys should see the look on his
Silver
face.
So, Danny.
I was gonna say, he's not entertaining that.
So, I'm just pointing it out there. That's just a little hand grenade for you. You're welcome.
But is it?
But you know what I'm saying? Like, the Bonars are supposed to be the tribe of, like, no heritage, no ancestors, no, just taking in the whatevers.
Sure, but it's got to start somewhere. I mean, hell, the Childa guys say everyone's from them. That they're directly descended from Wolf and everyone. It's...
Maybe not wrong there.
I think she's just trying to fucking waylay the episode.
She is throwing a stick in those spokes.
I know, man.
I thought you said you didn't mind the Get of Fenris. Holy shit, woman.
I know, she's naysaying more than me. I've been over here trying to learn.
Right? I can't wait for the shit you're going to take on Discord.
Yeah, there's a lot more people on my side there than is on your side.
Okay, fine. So where were you, Danny?
Man.
Okay, so he was the only one who didn't find a mate because he had to find a mate who would match his strength and honor.
Someone good enough for his loins.
Yes, exactly.
So
So when
find out
he-
where they made, all right.
So when he did find a suitable mate, I don't try to get too specifics here, but she was essentially arranged to marry someone else, another suitor, if you will. So Fenris had challenged that suitor for competition, a fight to the death, and then the Segan was her name, would marry the winner. Problem was, the other suitor was a frost giant, and really, really, really big compared to Fenris.
But we have a tribe, so Fenris won.
So yeah, there you go. But
Okay.
Fenris obviously won because there's a tribe, but it was still his greatest challenge. When he awoke from being after the fight because he was knocked unconscious, Segan was there tending his wounds, and tending his wounds, she then, once he woke up, agreed to be his mate. But he still put her through 3 tests to prove that she would be worthy to be his mate. And those tests are only known really to like the highest elders of the rest of the Get tribe.
Which I thought was a great plot hook. Like, they referenced the 3 tests for, quote, those seeking renown.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that was neat to leave it open to a storyteller.
I think it's probably...
On purpose.
I mean, well, just surely on purpose. I don't think they forgot.
Or ran out of ideas, or
It's
just like,
I
I
was,
don't know.
I was going to put the 3 down, but there's some Cheeto dust, and I don't want to... Fuck it. I don't know. Definitely that they left it open. I mean, that's good. It's definitely intentional. I don't know. What if you're a storyteller but you're not very smart?
Well, I'm sure you can use the interwebs and either ask people
But
or like,
But now I'm on this for a second, right?
oh boy, here we go. Buckle up, boys.
What if it's just like the guy just doesn't have it in him, you know? And so but he does. I mean, he's creative and he does his best. Mm-hmm. And so he makes the challenges, but it's like, what is 2 + 7? or one of those
Steal me a big boy.
the guy
Like
a kid
like the statue.
a kid and his father are in a car accident, and the son is wheeled to the emergency room, and the doctor says, I can't operate on him, he's my son. How is that possible?
Oh boy.
Right? Like, what if that's the best that guy can do? Maybe don't give it, just give a little direction.
Well, and they do, because strength, honor, and a bard's tongue are the 3 important things to this tribe.
Yep.
So maybe you have a strength challenge, an honor challenge, and a bard's tongue challenge.
Well, maybe that was the bird's tongue challenge. He's just bad at it.
You know what,
And
though,
that's
Joey?
okay too.
I'm 100% agreement with you, because that's exactly what I was thinking with the 3 challenges.
And we're just bad at the game, apparently, Danny.
So I'm waiting patiently. I want to know how they feel about the Impergium. And if
Well, that was next.
Yeah, I'm waiting patiently.
Man,
Wait.
he ain't forgot shit.
I was going to say, please say it. Please say it.
This is your line, man.
I know. But you leaned to the microphone like you were ready to say it.
Oh,
But
Uh-oh.
It's my favorite Danny Tyson quote.
Yeah. Yeah, shit.
I ain't forgot shit.
There it is.
There it is.
Oh, you're welcome. So, because I know Porter's favorite thing is the Impergium, so I'm letting him take this one.
It was my favorite thing, but, obviously they were very much against the Impergium because, I'm not even gonna. They weren't a fan of having participated.
But they did participate.
Oh, of course they did. They don't deny that at all.
Eventually, yeah. At first, they kind of stayed back, but, eventually they took part.
They are good soldiers and they follow orders, and they wish they hadn't. They look at it as a black mark.
And again, another time clue about when the Impergium took place. It was when man left the cradle of civilization. So we are amassing clues as to when it happened.
Only for those clues to go in drastically different directions as we go.
Yeah.
If you are listening to this series with the hopes of finding the day and month the Impergium started, you are fucked. I'm just like, I'm sorry. You should have a nap. It's just gonna make your head hurt.
It's only going to make it worse.
But no, obviously they didn't take credit for ending it. They didn't take credit for starting it. They participated. They wish they hadn't.
Right.
Yeah, but they live in regret because of it, though.
But the War
Yeah, so
of
dramatic.
Rage, they had a slightly bigger participation in, and they definitely had more thoughts and feelings on the War of Rage.
Danny?
Yeah. Well, and they felt like the other Farah weren't nearly as strong as they were, as not only them but the rest of the Garu, and because they're the strongest, they're the ones who should be leading, and none of the Farah agreed to be led by them, and they all opposed. So you're not going to do what we say. Well, then we're going to have to take necessary steps.
It's murder time. Is the short version.
Yeah.
It's
kind of what I'm getting at.
Well, and I appreciated how they said that the Pharaoh wouldn't give absolute loyalty.
Yeah.
Oh
why,
boy!
Why wouldn't you? Yeah. Why wouldn't the strongest of all of us be the leaders?
Well, and
how dare you not think that?
It's interesting that was the mentality. Mm-hmm. Because you can follow that logic For good or for ill, you can follow that train of thought.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I mean, it's not fucking complicated. There's no cul-de-sacs here.
There's no U-turns.
No. You can follow that train of thought. Now, it doesn't... The get of Fenris, you know, they need to bow to the get, doesn't track with anything we've encountered before.
Right.
And so I don't want to call it bullshit, per se. But I think the interesting thing is how their philosophy had changed over time. Because what you got there is that we're the strongest, so do what I say because I said it. Mm-hmm. Give me your lunch money.
Right.
And the Noogie Patrol will not turn into the Swirly Patrol. You know? Mm-hmm. I mean,
yeah.
Oh,
that's
it's true.
the gist.
Yeah.
But, you know, you look at today, and we're skipping, I mean, we're skipping a couple days here.
Just
chronologically.
Just a few.
Couple days.
Yeah, to where the get of Fenris are like, you know, we are not leaders.
Yeah.
That's not our job. You know, we're the big hammer hanging on the wall.
We're the deterrent.
You know how to swing a hammer. That's what we are. Mm-hmm. You know, we're a fucking tool. We're a finely crafted tool. Use us to demolish some shit. We are not leaders. So there's clearly, and I think there's a few things over the years, but a few moments that really help shift their perspective. You know, and there's a level of wisdom that they grow.
Yeah.
Which you don't see a lot of in these books.
Well, and on the War of Rage, I laughed right out loud when I read that the Pharaoh could have reacted differently. Exactly. Like, wait a minute. So you want me, you're going to say I'm a Pharaoh, you're going to force me into submission and demand absolute loyalty.
Yes.
So that I can exist on the planet, or you're going to murder me, and you expect me to be okay with this?
Well, you're not as strong as me, so yes.
And then when the Pharaoh, you know, say, hey, enough, you know, and strike out, it's like, well, they could have reacted differently.
I'm right there with you, what you're saying.
It's
but again,
ridiculous.
Yeah,
well,
but
they also admit that. They also admit, like, look, we definitely went about it the wrong way. But maybe we wouldn't have gone the wrong way if they just decided to do it.
Do what I say because I said it. But
Give me your lunch money.
Right. But again, and I call a little bullshit here. Mm-hmm. You know, on their own version of this. Because, you know, and it's not unlike the Striders and their claim about the War of Rage.
Oh, yeah.
Which I think is my favorite, where it's like, you don't know. There's no way. You can even talk to an ancestor. You just made this shit up.
Where they were the messengers for the king?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You said no one else but them who can't verify it. We hear with the get, again, it's putting the onus on them, which, again, we have never fucking heard before. We've heard 3 or 4 times the Silver Fangs did it. We've heard a couple times these people did it. These people did it. We've heard a lot of different sources, and the War of Rage wasn't one fucking thing.
Right.
You know?
Well,
so I'm not going to say that there weren't get...
Yeah.
No, it wasn't one...
No.
You know, he stepped on my toe, now it's the War of Rage. It was several incidents all the time from everybody on all sides for a long time. Mm-hmm. You know? So... a version of this happening during that period, I will believe. Mm-hmm. But they are not responsible for the War of Rage. Not solely. You know what I mean?
I think
it's not all that.
I think it's bluster. I think it's you know, puffing up their chest.
There is bluster. I agree. You know, and because they're them. Mm-hmm. Because the Get of Fenris are so fucking Get of Fenris about it, they're taking responsibility for the bluster, too.
Yeah.
You know? And I think there's something, I mean, on one hand, silly. but at the other hand, a little great about that. Is even if it's bullshit, you know? I'm going to accept the consequences of even the bullshit.
I think that's the honor part, though.
I mean, you can argue the honor of the bullshit in the first place. But,
Right.
you know, if they're puffing out their chest and it's just bluster, they're still willing to take the shit for the bluster that they're puffing out their chest about. There's something to be said about that.
But, like, who's given anybody shit about the War of Rage?
I know.
Like...
It's a...
Took it right out of my mouth. I was about to say that.
This is a weird hill to be doing battle on. You know, guess who won? No one.
Nobody.
No. Everyone lost the War of Rage. It was a bad idea, genes. It wasn't any one person's fault.
Now, did I miss it? Was the Second War of Rage even mentioned?
I don't believe it was, but I also
I don't
don't
think so.
believe they really had a hand in it.
Okay.
When it comes to the era of the Wormcomers, they maintain about this that they had good relations with the Uctina.
Yeah.
The Wendigo, surprise, surprise, were a problem.
Well,
I can't imagine a scenario where the Wendigo were shitty, but lo and behold,
right.
they were racisty, and they were murdery and shoot first. A lot of the same things we attribute to the Gad, let's face it. We went through that book. They're not great guys. But, yeah, they had their skirmishes with the Wendigo. Their relations with the Croton weren't great. But
They respect the shit out of the Croton.
Yes, they do, but we're talking pre-sacrifice.
Okay.
So,
yeah.
you know,
But now.
After the fact, different animal.
Right.
But they didn't have great relations with middle brother and or little brother.
Yeah.
They were okay with the Uctina, though, which is neat, I think.
I think that's cool too.
But they were adamant that their main focus, as they came to the New World, wasn't policing the Pure Ones.
No.
And it wasn't wrangling the worm, because they say flat out, the worm didn't need to be wrangled in the New World. They had that covered. They didn't. What they were doing was they were focusing on their own people. We have experience keeping these Europeans in check.
Right.
We know how to handle how they're going to rip through the fucking environment. That's where we're going to focus. And they admit that they didn't do such a great job immediately, but they eventually kind of got it under control. I appreciate them admitting the flaws, but they weren't so focused on the Pure Ones.
No.
It didn't mean there weren't skirmishes.
Yes, skirmishes is the word.
Well, the Get can be a bit hard-headed and can be a bit arrogant. And it's not necessarily, that's not to say it's not earned, but if you don't know that, you don't know that.
Tom, you're awfully quiet over there.
And
I got nothing.
Do you have nothing, or you just try not to naysay this episode into oblivion?
No, I got nothing.
Okay.
I'm learning a lot. Perhaps at the end of this episode, my opinion might change.
Perhaps it might. That'll be interesting to see.
As of right
Hope
now, it
so.
hasn't.
Well, that's unfortunate.
Well, we haven't really gotten into anything yet.
Yeah.
We're talking about history, and, to say Garrett did shitty things during the War of Rage is a little bit like saying water's wet.
Right.
So, I mean,
But is it? No, it's not.
It's moist.
moving on.
Well, there's a part in the Impersium, and it's probably more in Persium, and probably even a little bit after that too, where they talk about again with the honor, and they're trying to take after Fenris himself. The tribe believed that their mate, any of the tribe, was not allowed to have a mate that was not their equal. No victim would ever be considered a mate, because they want the mate to be as strong and as honorable as them.
Porter, what's he trying to say?
Okay. And I mean, he hit the right notes, Danny. And I mean, they're talking about, like maybe during the Viking era, it's like,
Yep.
the Get of Fenris, all they did was, fuck up other people's lives. They pillaged, they plundered, they murdered. It's like, look, yeah, we murdered. We stole.
Yeah.
Fucking, look, we didn't rape. Because, as Danny said, to rape, and this is so Get of Fenris, makes that person a victim. Well, victim is not qualified to be the mate of a Get of Fenris. They're having their child raised by a victim. They want a mate. They want an equal, someone worthy of them. In a way, it's the ultimate victim blaming.
It also sounds like they didn't mate much.
Well, I mean,
Maybe not as much as they could have.
Well, they're so
Well, yeah.
high horse.
Are they, though?
So far from what I'm hearing.
a little, you know what? A little bit, because they are the tribe with the fewest numbers.
Red
And I'm
Talons.
sure it has a lot to do with it. Well, one of the tribes.
Okay.
Yeah, I was like, wait.
That's the Stargazers.
Yeah, I didn't mean the absolute lowest, but
J'accuse.
yeah.
It's a lot of trouble.
That's Spanish for I accuse you.
Is it?
Oh, it's him.
Okay.
Okay, Bunya.
Wow.
Two can play that game.
Jesus.
No, but you've hit something there. is strength is so important to the Get of Fenris. And it's in a way kind of the bottom line. You hear accusations fucking constantly thrown at the Get of Fenris. And there's a few soapbox, maybe two, I'm going to hop up and down onto the course of this episode. Mm-hmm. But, you hear they're all racist monsters, or they're all sexist. No, they're not.
No, they're not.
They don't give a fuck. They care, are you strong? Can you do the job? Can you do the work? Can you fucking handle it? This is possibly the only tribe, and this is a little unfair, who takes their job fucking seriously.
Yeah, that is a little unfair.
I cop to it, but not a whole lot.
No.
Because you know what? The children of Gaia, the Shadow Lords, the Silver Fangs, they're sitting over here with their agendas. The Black Furies. Mm-hmm. They got their agendas. Yeah, it's important to stop the worm, but we got to work together. It's important to stop the worm, but we need to be in charge. It's important to stop the worm, but I can't breathe poor people air, and the fact that I'm crazy shouldn't keep me from running. We should fight the worm, but men be evil. Men be evil.
What? Why do the Black Furies get bad grammar?
Because the Bone Gnawers wasn't next, and someone had to do it.
Oh, you are a jerk.
The Glass Walkers. They got their fingers on these different pies. The Get of Fenris, they don't. They don't want to lead the nation. They don't have their secret agenda to rule fucking anything.
And no, that's not to say that your particular Get of Fenris doesn't, can have an agenda.
We're not writing your character for you.
Right.
Yeah,
No,
that's not.
We're
that's
talking
never what
tribe. We're talking tribe in general.
Yes, the tribe as a whole.
The Get's agenda is destroy the worm.
Bottom line. Mm-hmm. And again, if that costs him his life, that's okay with him.
Yeah.
When I talk about werewolf, and you've heard me do it before, I talk about the idea of we're going to lose the apocalypse, but you're fighting for one more day. You did that mission, and the world didn't end today. And maybe because of that mission, the world didn't end today. Maybe about the world a week because of what you do in your lifetime. That's an extra week, dude. That's them. They'll give their life for that extra week, so their families can have some fucking joy in the world or whatever for a week. So that your idiot family can. I wasn't looking to anybody right there, so I don't know who I was talking to.
I knew exactly where you were going with it, though.
They believe in the cause and they fight for the cause, and that's the important thing. They don't like to get bogged down with the extra shit. They have a job to do, and they're going to do it. Sometimes they get a little overzealous, certainly. Sometimes they come off as arrogant.
Yes.
Again, it's not undeserved. Bar none, they're the best warriors in the nation. That doesn't mean your rank 1 Get of Fenris can beat anyone out of, say, the Children of Gaia. Mm-hmm. That's absurd.
Right. Yeah.
But if you put a Child of Gaia next to a Get of Fenris of equal rank, and you go, come on. I need you to admit it. The Get's going to mop the floor with them.
I don't know, because there's smart and dumb, and there's strategic, and there's, idiocy in all tribes.
Sure.
I got a better one for you, though. Than Joey. You have equal rank Children of Gaia and an equal rank Get of Fenris, and you ask any elder to pick the winner of a fight.
That comes down to stereotyping.
Yeah, but the Garu know.
All right.
I
shouldn't have used Child of Gaia. I should have said any other tribe in the nation.
Yes.
Yeah.
Except for maybe Black Fury.
Yes.
Okay. So you take a Bone Gnawer.
No, how about Red Talon?
Pick a Bone Gnawer.
How about a Red Talon? Next to a Get of Fenris.
It's one of those 99 times out of 100, a Get of Fenris will mop the floor with anyone.
And that's what we're talking about.
That's exactly
we can't spend all day about the outliers. We're talking about the 99 out of 100. We're talking about the 90.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is going to always be that one who's a little bit better, maybe a little bit more strategic, a little smarter, maybe a little quicker. But as tribe, they are the strongest of the warriors.
But they also have a huge weakness because they have that mindset that they have to be the strongest and the best, and the arrogance. And if they do lose, that's a huge blow.
Sometimes, I mean, mileage may vary, but a lot of times that's how they earn or that's how the other person earns their respect. You look at the case of of the Red Talons, for example, or the Black Furies, who they don't get along with at all, but there is respect there. Mm-hmm. Why? They can hold their own.
Yeah.
These aren't mindless berserkers. They're not reckless bullies. That's the perception, but that's not what is going on. They're the ones, they'll fight and they'll die to protect their families, their loved ones, and the rest of the planet while they're at it. Any member of the tribe will tell you that the Get are the most, devoted to the cause by far. I mean, I don't think that's really in debate.
No.
But, and that's the thing is they don't care about politics. They don't care about the color of your skin. That shit doesn't matter. And that shit they get all the time. But they don't care what's between your legs. They don't give a shit.
Yeah.
They ask, and it's simple enough. Do you have the strength and the conviction to get the job done? And if the answer is no, then get the fuck out of their way. That's when there's a problem.
Right.
With them
Yeah.
and with other tribes.
Agree, 100%.
Well, thank you. I mean, I get that it gives them a bad rap, okay? Because someone's on the other side of that. And
Somebody's being told to get out of the way.
yeah, and
Yeah.
if you're with a tribe with a Cairn that get a Fenris and the get a Fenris breaks down your door, the perspective maybe it's the bullies and monsters perspective. Mm-hmm. I get that, okay, but meanwhile the get a Fenris are asking why were we able to get in? This is a Cairn, sir. That this land is important. You're supposed to protect all of this, and we shouldn't just have been able to come in. So, since you can't or won't defend it, we're gonna.
Yeah,
Because we shouldn't be able to just come in here and take it. If you won't take this seriously, please leave. Maybe not in so many words, but that's the part there. It's not because look at how much power I want to have. It's not, look, I'm going to measure by how many cairns I took from somebody. I didn't take the cairn from you so I can feel special. I took the cairn from you because you're fucking up. And this is important. Fine, it makes them look like the asshole. They're at peace with that too.
Yeah, as long as the job's done, they know they succeeded.
Sorry about the rant there. I mean, I'm
That's
not.
okay.
It was a good rant.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, I see where you're coming from with that rant. I do see it. Although, spreading themselves thin by taking over other people's cairns, yes, no, maybe. I don't know.
It depends, maybe.
Should those cairns have been defended better? Obviously. Does it make it right for them to go busting in people's doors? No.
Well, I think that's,
Is it better them than the worm? Yes.
I'd say that's a strange morality, because I don't disagree with you, but I don't know if that's our human minds where I'm on your side.
It's an odd viewpoint.
I'm sitting here wondering why would they even bother testing strength of another Cairn when their only mindset is to combat the worm? Why are they bothering with that?
Because
Because
defense
they
is...
need those cairns and they need those warriors.
But I get that,
combat
but
with
combat the worm. Go fight the worm. Don't fuck with my Cairn.
Ye shall cause no action allow Cairn to be violated.
Right.
If
my Cairn's not being violated, though, why are you bothering?
Okay.
But if you can't protect it, then you're causing to be not.
It's a
valid.
white hat hacker.
Let's assume that you don't have locks on your doors at home, and just your dog is the only thing keeping people from robbing you blind.
They can have my stuff.
And then I'm down the street and I walk into your house and I go, yeah, I'm gonna be here now.
I'm just saying, if their mindset is to combat the worm, why are they wasting their time with that?
Well,
I mean, I get it,
It's
but it's
because
still
not
something.
Just combat the worm. It's defense of Gaia.
Right.
This
Defend
counts.
your
This is-
Cairn.
Defend all the Cairns, man. It's all important.
I just don't like the mindset of they think all the other tribes are weak.
It's all
I don't
relative.
think they don't say that they're all weak. They just said that we are the strongest.
And it's a very different thing. And I'll look at the W20, the stereotypes, and those are always so much fun to read. Mm-hmm. I believe it's in W20 with the Fianna.
Yeah,
I believe
know exactly what you're thinking.
Do you? Yeah, I believe the quote is they're the second strongest warriors of the nation. What? That's a compliment. It's something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's exact. I think it's almost verbatim.
They're the toughest. Someone has to be. I'm sorry. You know.
Yeah, but it's not like I said. It's not considering them the rest of the tribes weak, because they still have respect for the other tribes who
Mostly.
they consider strong.
Yeah.
No,
Who they consider strong. That's
yeah.
Yeah.
They're absolutely okay with the Silver Fangs being the quote-unquote leaders of the nation.
depending
They're
on your
okay
edition.
with that.
I mean, I wasn't questioning that. I just the knocking of the door down. Like, there's other ways about that,
Maybe, but
But not
that's
for them.
Yeah.
and that's the
It's-
problem I have with them.
Yeah, yeah. Should we move along to Toto?
Well, I think
Well, I know, Porter, you were mentioning you had something you wanted to talk about. Like World War II was a big.
you can't. It would be irresponsible to avoid it.
Okay.
You know, I mean, I was gonna talk about Fenris and how Fenris was bound to the Umbra by Woden, who I cannot prove my source. We talked about this earlier today, Joey, you and I, that I swear Woden's a vampire, but you checked the thing and couldn't verify it. And the source I got it from might be wrong, or just we don't have that source or couldn't find it. But I believe that to be the truth. I still believe it.
Yeah, the only
Because we couldn't disprove it, but we couldn't
Right.
prove it either.
Yeah, and I went all the way back to my original book.
Right. And
Yeah. So
we couldn't find it. That doesn't mean it's not there.
okay, so if you have proof that Odin's a vampire,
Yeah, I think Charybdis is going to hit us up with that pretty well immediately on Monday morning. Or Wednesday morning. Tuesday morning.
Tuesday
Yeah,
morning.
he'll have it before we get up.
Yep.
He'll be like, by the way.
but yeah, no, I found Brynhilda.
Yes.
She's a vampire. So, but I mean, also she's claimed in this book. So
I'm looking at this.
Okay.
I don't want to get lost on that tall grass. We'll just
Yeah,
we will just wander aimlessly. I don't want that to happen.
She's another one that's claimed by like multiple sources.
Rasputin or Dracula
Yeah.
or Beowulf,
Yeah,
which was at
Beowulf.
one time 4 different tribes
Right.
and I think a couple clans.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Jesus.
Everyone's Beowulf.
And
Nice.
Rasputin.
And Lincoln, because fuck it. You want the trifecta.
Yeah.
You think about how they're related while I get to this. No, yeah, I think something to notice that Fenris walked among his people until he was sealed away through a trap of this big battle with Woden. Mm-hmm. Think about that. How fucking cool that is to be that tribe and to have the father of your right there. Go into battle with Stag,
Oh, that'd be awesome.
with Unicorn.
Like
Unicorn's
the
what
thing.
up? I'm at the fire next to you before this war party hits the next day. That's cool as hell, just as a thought. And then has been sealed, has been sealed away, so he can't reach the realm anymore. He can send avatars through great strain, and he can't walk the penumbra. And the idea was to cut him off from the 2 most likely places the final battleground would be, which is Gaia Realm or the actual battleground Near Realm.
Okay.
That he was such a threat, we got to get him off the fucking game board.
Wow.
I think that's pretty fresh.
Yeah.
But yeah, you take a step with World War One, which they had nothing to do with, which is largely
Yeah.
human wars.
Yeah.
I think the quote is, it's honestly, why would they? They don't give a rat's ass about politics. Mm-hmm. They did get involved once their land started getting tore up by the war and like their kids started getting killed by mustard gas and shit.
Well, that's
They
fair.
took an interest at that point.
You poked a sleeping bear at that point.
Right.
This is your fault.
Yep.
And then World War II. We can't. It's irresponsible. Mm-hmm. Yes, there was a faction of Geta Fenris who bought into Hitler's bullshit.
So they got into the politics.
Yeah. The book expands on this a bit more through it goes into the Norse shit. So I'm not.
Right.
But they talk about how it was a misunderstanding or a misappropriation of the idea of the Ubermensch and blah 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 blah, which attracted Geta Fenris to it in the first place.
Okay.
Like there was a rationale as to how this happened, but it wasn't in a way that they were making excuses, just explaining how some of their people could have fallen for this nonsense. All right. Yeah, it happened. And the tribe as a whole, the rest of the tribe united to take those assholes down.
Okay.
People forget that. You hear, Get are just Nazis. 3/4 of the tribe, possibly more, converged to take down that extra faction of idiots. Open up Get a Fenris Book 1, this is the first tribe book. The story is about a group of American Get a Fenris killing Nazis.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I've seen that comic.
I've seen the comic too.
Yeah. You know, and I think it's kind of bullshit that they can't walk away from that rap. You know, it's not like no other tribe has made mistakes. And they're not trying to hide from their shit. You know?
No, they're absolutely copping to the fact that it happened, but we're also taking care of it.
You know, Danny's exactly right. You know, there was a whole section about them hunting down Nazi war criminals to restore some honor back to their tribe because of the actions of some fucktards who made the wrong choice that are already dead.
Yeah.
You know, you hear people talk about how it's possible the Get a Fenris could, they're going to follow the worm. They're hubris and they're bullshit. I mean, that's you're seeing the tribe wrong. You think they're going to go through something like that and ever forget, ever make that kind of mistake ever the fuck again?
No, I just worry about the shadow that it casts on the tribe. Because it, kind of leaves them open a little bit. It's that crack, that shadow and that we did this bad thing. So it happened once. And I don't think it could happen the same way again. But I think that it leaves a crack in their heart that could be open for something else.
I see what you're saying. Mm-hmm. I counter with, they didn't do this. Some.
No, but there's a level of shame in the tribe about it.
A level. And I mean, they've gone a long way, but at the same time, it's mostly the rest of the nation, or in sometimes the player base, that doesn't give them an inch of fucking slack on that. As if they were the only tribe to have ever fucked a thing up or done something wrong.
No, but they admit it, so that's the big problem.
Right? I mean...
I was going to say that. That's the problem, is they admit to it, so everyone's going to dwell on that because they admit to it.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Because, again, they have the strength and fucking conviction to go, yes, we're not going to make excuses.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what do? They hunted those assholes to almost to the end. And, I mean, you look at the camps, and there is the Swords of Hamdall, and I'm sure we're going to get to them in a bit. But, it's like... Even the book points it out, Artreza's brothers fought the Nazis until the end, oblivious to the fact that the worm was using them. They talk about the Second World War began in evil and hatred, and it's an honor to hunt down evil. Unlike the Great War, the entire tribe came together to fight the Nazis and the Black Spirals, who were also heavily involved on that side.
Yeah.
No one mentions that.
But that makes all of the sense in the world.
Exactly. They're not going to forget that mistake. I think the concept is laughable.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people have like that misconception of their identity because of black marks like that.
Now, we get into, you got the camps real quick, Danny?
Yeah. Okay. Well, you have the Valkyrie of Freya, which are kind of like the women fighting to break the preconceptions.
Love how you say
women
that.
Are supposed to be.
They're the women.
Thanks, Danny.
And actually, when we go through these, I think I want to open with, I have never been a fan of camps for the most part.
Right.
I think there are occasions where a camp really can emphasize or add depth to a tribe.
Mm-hmm.
Your Actina Bane Tenders.
Right.
Your Shadowlord Judges of Doom. A lot, not all of, but a lot of the Sound Strider. Mm-hmm. Especially for a tribe that doesn't have that kind of structure. Right. Great. But I'm under the opinion, all right, and I might be totally fucking wrong on this, but I was talking to Danny about this, and he brought up, this was probably the episode to bring it up in, that I think that that the camps from inception were a way to play a tribe without playing the tribe.
I was going to say that.
So, this particular camp
is the Black Furies. So, you have a group.
The Black Furies of the Get a Fenris.
Yeah. They in the beginning, and I'm talking from Werewolf, from the beginning. I think they wanted to make it so you could fit that group all into one tribe. So Joey, you want to play a Black Fury super badly, but we want to play Get a Fenris. Well, you can play a Black Fury, like the Kmart version, as a Valkyrie of Freya.
The blue light special.
It's not the real thing, but it's close at a glance. Yeah. And I think this is true for most of the camps in the entire fucking game, and I think it's very apparent here.
Yeah.
So please continue, Danny. I'm sorry for interrupting you.
No, you're absolutely right, because I think with that opinion, because I share it, and you make a whole lot of sense when you say it, that it's almost completely transparent with this tribe's camps.
So what do we got next?
Well, the next camp would be the Hand of Tyr, which they only target worms' corruption within humanity. The next were the Fangs of... Yeah, everyone knows exactly what we're talking about now.
Right? It was a room full of pointed glances there.
We forget that you guys can't see us.
Yeah.
Oh, I think the audience did it too.
You got the Fangs of Garm, which everyone's going to start pointing at Joey here for a second. Trying to repair relationships with other tribes so we can all stand together.
Huh.
How about that? Tom, is there something on your nose? You're tapping it.
Right on the nose, right there.
You got Mjolnir's Thunder. They combat the worm at any cost. Glorious Fist of Wotan. Kill humans. Stop the spread of worm. Transparency. Swords of Heimdall. They, kind of adapted the racial supremacy ideas.
Ooh.
And, yep.
And I'm going to take a second here, Danny, interrupt you. Is that cool?
Because this is what you're talking about for World War II.
This is what I'm talking about. The Swords of Heimdall, oddly, I'm okay with from a well, why would you play that situation? Because this is an outlet for the negative aspect of the tribe.
Okay.
As antagonists.
Yes, I can see that.
Yeah, this is a faction that, and when I think about my, what we'll call it, strong knowledge of the game, of the meta plot, of the meta characters, and as a whole, there's Pink Tom.
Yep.
Pink Tom and his crew, who are unnamed,
yes,
are the Swords of Heimdall. And by 3rd edition, they're wiped off the fucking map.
Yeah.
But if you erase that canon, why? By the Get a Fenris, by the way. Because we don't tolerate that shit.
Right.
But this is a great example to lean into that negative stereotype and use them as antagonists.
Right. I think using anybody from this camp as a player character is a bad idea.
No, I agree. Like, why would you even? But I think there's a place there for that, is a lesson as an antagonistic tool.
Yeah.
And I'm down with that, but that can be the end of it.
Yeah. Maybe I should have used those first so you can use your bit about World War II there.
Yeah, that's where we're moving.
Eh.
Yeah, it's fine. So then the next one would be Ymir's Sweat, which were, kind of like the bloodline of Fenrir settlers who interbred with the Wendigo and the Croatan. And then you had Loki's Smile, who they control...
You can't even
Transparency. Yeah, I can't even say it straight. It's going to make me laugh. Controls the tribe from the shadows, and they communicate through storm spirits.
See, I would have said they lord over the tribes from the shadows.
And then they hide out from the rest of the tribe.
Like some sort of emperor or king, or another word you might use.
From a not lit area.
Yes.
So again, going back on your idea of the camps, and that's why I agree with you, and the transparency is right there. It's those, almost all of them, maybe except 1 or 2, are just another tribe.
I mean, yeah. And if you go through the different tribes,
if
there's
you want
so
to
many
play,
like that.
If you want to play a tribe specific game.
Yeah. And I think that's what they were going for in 1st edition. Because if you pop up in the Rite of Passage book, it talks about the specific tribal, how they do it. Well, what if you have a mixed group? And they never once address what you do if you have a mixed group.
Well, you don't have a mixed group. You have a one
tribe playing different camps
Yes.
that are close enough. That I think that's what the intent was. I can't prove it. It's just how I feel.
I mean, looking at it from that perspective, it makes all of the sense.
Right?
That those camps only support your theory. And like I said, it's the most transparent with the Get of Fenris than any other tribe.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. So now are we moving on to totems?
We are moving on to totems, unless Danny, you've got anything else.
No, it's what I got next. Totems.
Excellent.
Okay, so the
Hey Tom, who's the
Tom?
totem? Who's the totem of this tribe, Tom?
for the Get of Fenris, who's the totem for the Get of Fenris?
You can do it.
Stag?
Awesome.
We'll fix it in editing.
Good night, everybody.
I'm gonna go with a big wolf for 100.
I mean, yes, Fenris himself.
Yeah, I figured.
Not wrong, but right.
And Fenris is, I mean, strong isn't obvious, but fierce. And cranky?
Understatement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's trapped and he doesn't like it. Mm-hmm. You know? He values his time. I wouldn't... That's not a spirit you call.
No,
And just
don't
go,
do that.
hey...
Isn't there something I read not long ago where if you do try to call upon him, you lose a limb?
There's a gift
Yeah, it's a gift.
where you can summon an avatar of Fenris, and he takes your right hand in exchange.
Better be important.
Hey, Danny. What arm did Hunter lose?
The left.
Oh, he's still good.
He's still good.
I think they said it was your non-dominant hand you have to sacrifice.
Well, I think at the end of the day, sir, Fenris is
doesn't
going to take
matter.
a sacrifice. And
Who's
if
a
you only
hand?
have one,
Right.
you got a bad day ahead of
Now
you.
you got none.
I think Fenris is going to go, oh, well, gosh.
No. You're okay. This one's a freebie. No.
Yeah, right.
Right? You know.
Not someone who values his time like that.
Plus the pain you put him through to summon an avatar.
Yeah, you know, it's being in prison. It's a strain on him to do it. But he's fierce and he's demanding and he's fucking aggressive. You know, he's not a totem to be fucked with. But interestingly, that's not everything. It's not the whole wheelhouse there. You know, you have totems like the Snow Queen, who is maybe would have felt more at home with you put with the Wendigo.
Probably.
You know, the embodiment of the chill of winter and those silent winter nights, you know. But she favors Fenrir who carry themselves with grace as well as strength. You know, her ban is that the children of the Snow Queen must be courteous to their hosts so long as their hosts do not break the law of hospitality.
Nice.
These are polite motherfuckers. They work for Snow Queen. You know, there's a weird little clock monster thing or something that, Joey, you're a fan of? You've brought it up before.
Clock monster?
Cuckoo.
Yeah. I was gonna bring up Cuckoo.
Yeah, I knew you were. I even put a
Yeah.
note. I'm going to let you do it.
No,
I was waiting for Joey to say cuckoo because we mentioned this a while ago.
Oh. A
yeah,
while
we
ago,
talked about
yeah.
it before.
And it's one of those, like, with Cuckoo, like, not strength,
Right.
not fierceness.
No, but he admired the
Balls. Yeah, the balls on that guy.
The brass balls on Cuckoo. To, like, walk up and be like, you know, knock, knock, knock. Excuse me, Mr. Fenner. We need some protection. May I hang out over here?
Some big conies on that.
Yeah.
Right?
Versus, yes, you're funny. All right.
Yeah. And Fenner respected the forthright manner and thought he was amusing as hell.
So he's like the court jester.
Kind of.
I mean,
it's not
does it-
unfair.
Yeah.
yeah.
But-
It doesn't matter. He's part of that brood now.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cuckoo.
And that's the
Yeah.
thing, is probably not court jester, because that implies like it lowers, it's
Right.
family now.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, let's not underestimate the importance family are to the Get of Fenris. It's easy to do, but if there was there was a tribe out there that valued their family more, it's the Fianna. And that's about it.
But, like, Cuckoo's sort of like, you know, your funny cousin. You like having him hang around because you're never quite sure what he's going to do.
It's cuckoo.
but it's going to be awesome, and you're going to laugh your ass off.
Right? And you've also got the Norns, who are known by a lot of names, like the Fates, the Three Sisters.
Oh, okay.
You know, who can appear from anywhere from like Amazonian warriors to old crones, but they're totems of wisdom. They appear, you know, in if you're just worthy, we'll give you wisdom. It's not about strength. The strength of mind, perhaps. You know, the Brigir, spirits these that exist to remind the Get of Fenris that joy is as necessary as anger, and that the
Like,
simple
that's awesome.
right, and that the simplest pleasures are the best. The Brigir are responsible for songs of honor and happiness.
Like, that has, I mean, it has stuff to do with, like, you know, strength and honor and stuff, but, like, there's a flip side to that coin, and that's kind of cool.
Yeah, there's more depth there. I mean, look, you're looking at him just as like that mindless rage monster.
Yeah, no, it's breaking me from that.
Yeah, well, you know, you've bought into their game face and good, because their game face is fierce. Their game is worse than the game face. You know, it's meaner. But
Yeah.
that's what you're seeing, is you're seeing their game face.
And, like, they have family, and that, I mean, this is saying, like, they also have feasts and fun and enjoyment and happiness.
Yeah. There's more to them than that one note, man. They just, who are you?
You don't get to see that portion.
Yeah, they're not, to an outsider, to a potential threat, they're certainly not going to show it. They're putting on their biggest, meanest, scariest, and they got the strength to back it up more often than not.
Yeah, that's like I said, that's what drew me to him the most.
Fucking love to get a Fenris. I feel like I snaked this from you a bit here, Danny. I'm sorry.
I'm fine with it because you only push my points that I had even further. So
They was my first character, you know?
So, what cool stuff?
Oh, shit.
like the toys.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I mean, if you want to hit gifts first.
The
You're
floor is yours, man.
you're driving this train.
You are driving this train.
Well, see, I didn't even look up gifts
No, you're... Oh, shit.
because, well, the reason I didn't because I just pretty much took the ones that I have personally as a get up.
Look at this
Okay.
guy.
Talk about it.
I took troll skin.
Okay.
You know, drawing the power from the earth. You know, for protection. You know,
So it's like
but-
an armor.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it's
an
it.
armor, but it makes you look hideous. it
Hey, you're fighting it. Who
thick.
cares?
Yeah,
Right.
exactly. You know, but you know something like with maybe one armed person might need maybe a little bit more armor.
Well, you could have more arms. You just choose not to.
Well, he's not high enough rank for that.
Well, more
That's
than...
that's a different gift. That's again, and I'm not saying I have this gift, but there is a gift. I'm pretty sure it's a rank 4 gift
It is.
that you can overcome any old injuries, acting as if they were never injured, including missing limbs. And the scar tissue glows like it was a new limb in itself.
Nice.
You have a weirdo lightsaber arm and a couple ranks.
That would be cool.
Right.
I don't think that'll be happening anytime soon.
Yeah.
What?
You get gifts like Fenris Bite. You know,
Yes.
which it's not pretty.
Really?
It's like a bite, but it's gonna be worse. You don't want a part of it. You know, if I remember correctly, because I figured Danny would note up fetishes and gifts all day long,
little
so I
bit.
didn't.
Well, it's the fun portion of the game.
Right, so I was skipping it to make sure Danny had all of it. So I'm just going off the top of my head.
Well, I made sure I brought the glory scar one up.
Okay.
I mean, because if I didn't, someone was going to, and then we'd hear it in the Discord, Danny, why didn't you do that? And
Well, you know, you've got, I believe Fenris Bite is you're not, that limb's coming off, or like you're not breaking that jaw, you're not breaking that grip.
Oh my.
That is snapped on until the Fenris says otherwise.
Oh boy.
You know,
Now, do you continue to take damage?
I don't recall.
Okay.
You know me in the nuts and bolts.
Details.
Yeah, you know
it's all about the description.
you know, you look at the fetishes. You have stuff like, well, I mean, you just skip to the big dogs. It's the Jarl hammers.
Well, before Jarl, you get the Iron Hammer first.
True, but only if
But
you're not a
the
Jarl.
Well, but the Iron Hammer, it's more of like the one-handed hammer. It's silver,
Something he can use.
but it's but it's iron. So it's iron laced with silver. So it's still egg, but it can be soaked. And it can be thrown. And just like Thor's Mjolnir, can return right back to you.
Now, this is a little side question, but does it work against Fae?
Absolutely.
Nice.
It's iron.
Okay.
And then from there, the upgraded version of those would be the Jarl Hammer, which is the two-handed.
It's a significantly bigger deal than that. Each Jarl Hammer is named, and each Jarl Hammer has a different power. And there are 5, 6 of them that are accounted for in the world. Is that correct, Danny?
I something like that.
So, is there a known quantity of Jarl hammers, or is 6 like the top?
There were more.
Okay.
There are less now that we don't know where they went.
Okay.
Lost to time or.
Gotcha.
But they are each named and each have a different power, which is rad as shit.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's the kind of thing that you're not gonna have.
Right.
Come on.
Ever.
Like, I could see the Fianna Ragabash getting himself a Jarl Hammer. That sounds like
I didn't say I
wanted.
wanted one. I just said, come on. You can still run a fun one-off story and
I know that could happen, but
play with toys.
it's true.
I see.
Phrasing.
I love this part, and I'm gonna read.
We're not
this
on the
one-
big P anymore.
I'm gonna read this one verbatim from the book because it's so fucking awesome. For the Jarl Hammer, whenever a blow from the Jarl Hammer slays its target, the hammer resounds with a powerful thunderclap. It has no effect, but it only announces to a friend and foe alike that another enemy of the Get of Fenris has fallen.
Okay.
You rang a gong. Congratulations.
Right?
No,
Yeah,
I'm
but every time
I'm
you
with that,
hear
man.
that-
Way to announce your presence with authority.
Yeah.
Sounds like the dinner bell.
It's a god-keeping score. That's one.
That.
That's 2, Johnny.
Yeah.
He could do this all day. That's 4.
Arrogance.
Hey, he's got a Jarl Hammer. He's earned it.
Fair, but
Yeah, probably right. So, did you guys, anyone have anything on the rights? Anyone, you guys want to bring up rights at all?
Got nothing.
No,
I got
not really.
nothing. No.
I mean, there are a couple, but I mean, nothing crazy.
Danny, what do you have on rights?
Okay, well, I'll just do a quick one then. It was the right of the lodge house.
Okay.
Now, and before saying this, it is known that the Get of Fenris are probably the most rage-filled out of all the tribes.
What?
Liar.
Right. So the right of the lodge house, it soothes the rage to avoid quote unquote diplomatic events.
I like that.
Yeah, and to enact it, you be inside a house that's pleasing to the spirits. Your right master opens up all the doors and windows in order, inviting the spirits of wisdom, and then granting any spirits of rage to leave if they see fit. And if it's done correctly, the Get is less likely to lose control of his rage until the meeting ends.
Okay.
Or just stop being angry.
Oh, is that how that works? Is that how rage works?
Just
Tom?
stop being angry.
That's how rage works, huh?
Just,
Okay.
just hey, shh, cut it out.
Exactly.
Calm down.
Yep. Oh, that's the word that works.
I also
You
find
can't say that.
relax.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can't say that to any Garu, much less a Get of Fenris.
Oh, Joey and I, we had a buddy back in the day. We used to play games with online.
Yeah.
Who would do that? He'd go, "Hey, relax." She's apropos of nothing.
Yeah.
Nice.
She'd be like, "You relax." It's like, "Hey, relax." Yeah, you relax. No, relax. And now you're getting mad. You're like, "You relax, motherfucker." Just relax. No!
Wow. All right.
Yeah.
It worked a lot. It worked on most people most of the time.
Jesus.
Yeah. I mean, I find that the proper response is, oh, okay.
Oh.
But would have been my response.
Okay.
Sure.
Relax. You're the one who needs to relax.
Sure.
Damn it.
But yeah, calm down.
But hey,
Real quick.
yes.
There's seven jarl hammers.
What did I
Oh.
say?
And,
6. You were close.
Shit, I was
You were close.
but at least each one has been lost. Or sorry, while at least one has been lost.
So 8.
No, 7. So there's 6 out in the world because the
So
7th
your
is
6
lost.
was correct.
Okay.
You were correct. Danny, say you're sorry.
You're sorry.
Oh,
Wah, 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 wah.
All right.
And that's how, thanks to Danny,
That's
how
we're
this
good.
is going to end.
End of season 1.
That one, not quite. We got a couple odds and ends left.
oh
For
there's
example-
business.
Oh, there's business.
There is business, but before
Well, we got the Cubs corner today first.
Well, he just stole it from you.
Oh.
I mean, he didn't even. He just walked. He's like, "Who's talking Porter? Fuck it."
Walking all over the host.
I know. And the
Sorry.
award goes to, hey, does anyone have any chicken nuggets? That's you. That's what just happened. So Tom is our resident naysayer in terms of the Get a Fenris.
Resident. Ooh.
Well,
I live here.
the van's
Parked in the
whatever. Just whatever. What's the what? Have your thoughts changed?
I mean, slightly.
Give us a
Player-wise, yes.
Give us a perspective.
Player-wise, I see there's more depth to them for sure. I mean, obviously, I did not read this book. I wanted
Right.
to come into this dry and see if my opinion can be changed on them.
Which is why I'm asking you about it.
Which, yeah, it largely has. I mean, don't get me wrong, a lot of what I see in game with my character is still going to stay the same, where he's just not going to care because they're very one note. Because obviously, I'm not a get,
Right.
so I'm not going to see the deeper sides of it. I'm going to lean into the stereotypes
Well,
as my character.
sure, but I would point out, and I'm kind of forced to, is that the Get a Fenris we're referencing more often than not when we're talking about this is also the same guy who, while maybe bullied you mercilessly, knocked you around for fun, maybe, is also the one that lost an eye saving your ass.
Yeah, you guys keep bringing that up. There's many people that have saved my ass in this game already.
He's not wrong.
That's true,
I mean,
but I point that out.
Trust me, I owe him a thing. I owe Jude 30 things. It's I own my own Packmates things. It doesn't.
Well, I'm just saying,
That's
that
part of the Garu life.
well, is it that monster?
I'm not calling him a monster. I've never called him a monster.
Okay.
I mean, he is a monster in certain ways. He's a beast, but he has a very carefully curated appearance and look and demeanor to him.
personality.
Well,
He's just off-putting.
yeah, necklace of ears much.
Yeah.
Which, again, it's part of that game face.
Mm-hmm.
So, we don't get to see the nicer, cuddlier Whiplash. I have.
It's a weird sentence.
Yeah, I wouldn't
So
want to cuddle
weird.
with him.
Well, I don't want to cuddle with him either.
Come here, ghost. You're gonna be Little Spoon.
No thanks.
Oh, that's just creepy.
But largely, I do like what I'm hearing. And I'm enjoying that they definitely fess up to what their wrongs were.
Mm-hmm.
I do enjoy that about them, that they are not pushing blame elsewhere like some other tribes do.
Right.
Most other tribes.
I wasn't saying most. I was just trying to. I wasn't trying to label them all. But no, I like it. It's definitely changed my one-note perspective on them.
There you go.
Good.
Cool.
Good. So I think with that, unless Joey, Danny, closing remarks.
I
Sorry for being biased.
like the Get a Fenris. I just wish that the book was written a little differently.
No, I'm with you. Again,
Yeah. So, I mean, I like to Get a Fenris. I always have. So, I mean, maybe that's why I played a couple of them.
right. All right. Well, we do have a Cubs quarter.
We do.
So what do we got here, Joey?
Okay, this one comes from Tells a Story. And on our forums, he said, The mechanics of smoothly running a werewolf combat. Huge dice pools, even at low levels. Different forms of altering dice pools, lots of rolls to resolve a hit. Attack, dodge, and soak. How do you, in your game, make it as quick and smooth as possible?
Well, I think it's kind of funny because I think, the golden rule shit I do in our games in terms of combat, I think, make combat take longer.
It's true.
Because you guys have more options and more shit you can do.
Right.
So, I think I do the opposite of that.
You do.
Yeah. But, in terms of advice to make combat, it's something I have to say to make it go quicker, is I guess, number one is you need to know your roles.
Right.
There's a level of preparation and just base fucking knowledge. If it's your first game, your second game, your first handful, you don't know your shit yet, that's fine. Mm-hmm. But,
even if you need to type up a quick cheat sheet.
Right.
Something, yeah, so that, hey, look, if I'm going to do this, it's this. Mm-hmm. Dice is also a thing in terms of numbering. Mm-hmm. Don't have many more than you need, or have a system or something to help cut it down. Maybe you've got 2 rows of 5, and then, here's 10 over here.
Yeah.
I think all of us, we roll with 20 die. Mm-hmm. We have 20.
Oh, I have more than that.
Okay. Okay, Danny, Tom, and I have 20.
Okay.
So now you know what 20 is. It's all of them. So it's like, hey, if you gotta do a 16, just pull 4. It doesn't take long. Mm. Again, maybe have them laid out in certain
Weird. You separate
patterns.
it up exactly like I do. 10 and 2 5s.
What do you need more of? Knowing those roles, having those roles ready, like as a storyteller. You're rolling your damage, or you're rolling your to hit, and I'm rolling the soak.
Right.
And that'll just sit there until you're done. Mm-hmm. And that gives me time to come up with, okay, this is what's going to happen here. I'm going to illustrate, give us something neat, some brain food here for how it looks. There's only so much you can do without completely reworking the system. For years, I guess I'll talk about this real quick I don't want to make it too much of a...
Right.
But for years I ran with a system, and what it came down to is I didn't trust my players.
Yep.
They couldn't be trusted to roll their own dice.
Jeez.
Yeah. Practice rolls. And practice rolls, and
Oh, no, that was my real roll.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
No, I pre-rolled it.
I can see where that's going.
I pre-rolled it. It's fine.
And players shouldn't be
practicing.
touching their dice unless they're actively...
Agreed. You're rolling your dice, roll your dice. Otherwise, fucking don't. Nah. Anyway.
I kept practicing until I got the one I wanted.
Exactly. Then you just pre-rolled to save time.
Yeah.
It's like how sweet I am. I waited till I got like 8 out of 10 10s, and that was my... But what I would do is I would do all of the rolls, and I would base them like I wouldn't roll damage, and I wouldn't roll to hit. I mean, I'd roll to hit. You'd roll Dex Mel. All right?
Okay.
And I rolled the Dex Mel, and the number of successes, and then the height of the success would dictate to me the damage it did. So, like, if you had... it's a standard diff, and you had 3 7s, or even 4 7s, this will do this much. If you had 4 10s, it's going to do more.
Whoa.
And it was largely based on gut,
Okay.
and it worked well enough that no one ever had a problem with it, per se, for years. No one
I guess
said
as
boo.
long as you're fair about it, right?
Well, I mean, that's the idea. But there's a pretty glaring fucking hole.
Yeah.
What's the hole, Joey?
A, you don't trust your players. B, like, I mean, a shotgun doesn't do the same amount of damage as a flamethrower, and I mean, there's so many problems here.
No, there's a lot of parts
Or-
in your head that you're doing on the fly.
Right.
Or
and,
clave.
and, like, why are you getting burnt out doing all that work as the storyteller?
Why am I?
Well, why were you? Like, you're doing all the work that the players should be doing.
Sure, but that was how it was.
Okay.
So that didn't factor to me.
Okay.
Because it was how,
Right.
yeah, you should be able to trust your players.
Yeah.
I couldn't. So that's not...
That's weird.
It's a non-starter. Do you know what I mean?
That's weird.
It's what it was.
Okay.
Takes away like almost half the game from the player too.
But here's where it finally... because it was just the way it was done.
Uh-huh.
And one day I'm with my Virginia group, or one of the guys from the Virginia group, and he's creating a new character for a series of kind of one-offs we're doing.
Uh-huh.
The tribal one-offs I've mentioned before. And he's looking at fetishes, and he wants some claw fetishes because they're neat as shit, And he's like, I kind of want this, but I'm not going to take it. And I go, well, why don't you take
pluses. It
yeah,
doesn't...
he goes, well, because it won't do ag.
Yeah.
I mean, you can soak it. And if you can soak it and it doesn't do ag, then there's no point because I'm not rolling damage. So it doesn't matter if you've got a warhammer or a sword taped to 6 other swords or a rocket launcher.
Or a penknife.
Right. You're better off with a silver penknife than you are with a fucking rocket launcher that way.
Huh.
Now, obviously, this was a mistake I made, and once that was pointed out, and he wasn't even, shitty about it, He wasn't...
Right.
It's like, oh, this is how it's done, and I'm fine with it. But this is a flaw I had seen in it that no one else had seen before, or pointed out at least.
Yeah.
And it was the last fucking story I did that.
Gotcha.
Because it's like, no, you're right, this isn't fair. So I went with the system as written. The reason I bring this up is when you fuck around too much with this kind of thing to try to expedite, sometimes things can fall through the cracks that you don't see right away.
Yeah.
So rather, I can't give you some nifty formula of what not to roll,
Yeah.
And just say know your rolls and have them ready and have your dice ready.
Yeah.
And that's the best I can tell you, because if you start to get cute, you can make a mistake.
And Echo's fetish would be useless,
Yeah.
under that system.
Yep. And ideally you would have noticed and pointed it out, but you didn't. Or maybe you did, you didn't say anything because you were just there guest starring for 2 episodes with Jasmine. Yeah.
I don't think she had a fetish. I don't know.
Either way,
But
get what I'm saying.
yeah.
It's like, obviously as a storyteller you weren't looking to rip anybody off, but
Right.
it was an unintended consequence that you just didn't see.
Yeah.
Oops.
Until it came up.
Till it came up,
Yep.
and then you fix it. So yeah, that's the Cubs Corner. I hope that it's not the answer you wanted. I'm sorry, man.
It's the long and the long of it.
That is the very long-winded version, and hopefully a lesson was learned. Wow.
Okay, so
You know,
end of season 1.
That is season 1. This has been the end of season 1.
Woo.
It might actually have been the new year while we've been talking.
Oh, I don't know. It might have been.
That was a long-winded Cubs Corner.
Yeah.
It might have actually been. It might be 2021 right now as we're recording.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, everybody. We're really looking forward to season 2. We've got some ideas of some new stuff. Some, it's going to be crazy. It's going to be fun. It's going to be us doing what we do, and then some other stuff. Thank you so much for being with us. This first year has been
A wild ride.
It has. It's been pretty great. Mm-hmm. And thank you. Thank you to all our Patreons. To those who donate on PayPal. And again, you guys can still do that whenever you want.
It's open.
We would not be sad about it. The store may or may not.
Yeah.
By now, it's probably at least the end of it. So
Yeah.
You
If it's still there.
you got like a day.
You're right. There's not much time left. If you want anything, we'll come back to the store once we're happy.
Right.
We're happy with the behind the scenes stuff. But hey, don't forget to like us. Don't forget to rate us. Share the knowledge of us with your friends. Whatever it is to get the word out there. Because hopefully there are people out there who will love this show as much as you like listen to it, or as much as we love putting it on. And those people deserve to hear this stuff.
Yeah.
And again, once again, thank you. We couldn't do this without you. And thank you guys.
Thank you.
Fucking Danny, Tom, Joey. I wouldn't be doing this without you guys. So thank you.
We had to talk you into it. But
It took them a long time too.
But I think we did the right thing.
I think so too. I love doing this. I love putting this show on. I love, it's another way for us to all hang out and you have a good time. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't trade it for anything.
we do.
No, I wouldn't trade it.
You're welcome.
Oh, I don't like the steak in your voice like that.
Oh,
I was
I'm
waiting
sad
to put that in there.
You motherfucker.
This is why we can't have nice things.
You're fired.
Thank God.
Join me, producer Joey and Daniel Tyson, next season, which will
With a new Tom.
Yeah, which will be next week, by the way, so you don't even have to wait. Danny, get the hammer. We're going to teach this prick a lesson. And then to the rest of you, thanks again for everything. Be excellent to each other. Take care, and we will see you next time. See ya.